Oh boy, is it chilly. Sadly it is, and especially in this position at the moment. Why am I in this position? Just a change in scenery. It's got nothing to do with, anything special to talk about or anything. I'm not too sure. What do you guys think? Yeah, I got my Fursuit here. Here's your Fursuit here. Here's your Fluffy. Yeah, be careful about that. Here's your Fluffy. Anyways, moving on before I sound like a bit of an idiot, which at this point I am. But anyways, today specifically, obviously I'm going to talk about my obvious first tutorial that I got. It's my first time, obviously, and I'm actually going to be talking about something which I am going to be hoping doing in like the next couple of weeks, I think. Particularly with meats, fur meats and everything else. I am going to see if I can try and go to one at some point, particularly the one which is some which are closest to me, some that I'm interested in, probably the fursuit con. I'm hoping I go to one of those eventually. I'm not 100% sure, but I will be turning up, hopefully, in one of those eventually. Also, with a bit of, obviously with a different scenery, comes with a bit of a different opportunity. Sadly, I haven't even got my full stuff out yet, so it's going to be a bit awkward at first. But, either way, I'm going to just talk about, obviously, the future of my channel, obviously, for the first 3 minutes, and then the rest of the video I'm going to be talking about one topic, and that is character design. Now, obviously, a lot of people have their own ways of making their own character, but I'm afraid everyone has their own differences. I'm just going to be honest. Everyone has their own ways of making their own character into like a proper reality image, that type of shit. I will be honest, there is one thing though that you should not ever do. You should never give away too much information unless you are willing to pretty much go on ahead and that type of shit, if you know what I mean. Anyways, speaking of that was my bag. Don't you worry. Speaking of that, just continue along with the whole main topic at the moment. And that is just the fur meat. I'm hoping I go to one of them. I'm not going to say when. I can't say how. I am going to turn to one of them eventually. Anyways, moving on to the main topic. And that is character design and how to make your character stand out from everyone else. Particularly in the fandom as well as. In the furry fandom, you have multiple people who would constantly have the same design idea as you. Number one thing that you should always do. Firstly, come up with a name of your character. Don't try and just rush. I recommend you just make your character in your imagination. Don't look at what other people have done. That's the number one thing you should never do in the first place. You'll limit yourself too much, and I realized when I was making Smile Wolf my fursona, I pretty much had too much limitations, since how much people have used the Smiler roller coaster before. And yes, it's a fucking annoyance, that's all I'm gonna say. It's an absolute bastard of annoyance. It's not fun, I'll be honest. I have multiple people coming up to me and say, like, oh, you've copied off a character. Try and remake him. Try and change him up. Obviously, this is Smile Wolf. This is my main one. The light is hitting in the wrong way. The light is literally over there, so I can't help it, I'm afraid. But I always say to those people, I won't. Because I made that character for a long time. I had him for 7 years. I had him as a bit of an imaginary character. I never actually thought about the furry fandom until 3 years ago, and I said to myself, how if I join the furry fandom, see how everything goes, make Smile Wolf up, and just voila. Smile Wolf I had for about, how long did I have him for? Well, obviously 7 years, of course. Smile Wolf himself, he was actually a challenge and a bitch to actually design, especially with all these stripes on him particularly. And yeah, sorry if you guys can't see him properly, but again, that's him. Voila. That's him if you guys actually don't know. Obviously, when it comes to, you know, trying to design something that you like and come up with something a little change of, like, do something like a lot of people you'd never expect to do, you gotta do one purposeful thing. Make the character original. I would recommend people to buy characters off people, but at the same time, you're limited to what you can make. And that's the number one thing you should never do. Be limited over what you have in store. With me, when I made Smile Wolf, I had endless possibilities of how he can end up. With me, I had him in my head for so long, to the point where I have to make the backstory of him. Because he was just pretty much there, if you know what I mean. But anyways, just history behind him actually. He wasn't originally called Smiler Wolf, he was originally called something else. But that backstory-wise, I'm not going to say backstory shit anyways, I'm not going to go back into that. Like I said, I kind of given up on it. Some of my friends on like social media kind of know that my backstory behind Smile Wolf is a bit too much. And even friends nowadays can see why. But there's one thing, like I said, there's only one thing I would recommend no one should really do in the first place. And that is, well, some people have done this and they've got success. So, ta-da to them. Congratulations. Me, I don't believe in that shit. I believe in one thing. Make your character original from here and here. Not from what you want. Don't buy your character. That's what will ruin your life. That's my personal opinion, of course. Everyone has their own. When I came up with Smaller Wolf, I came up with multiple other characters. I realized that some of those characters I'm never going to touch anymore. So I said to myself, let's see what people would want. I said to myself, alright, there's people who want some like different kind of characters. I said to myself, let's sell these couple of characters which I think are useless. One of them actually being Shepherd, I'm afraid. Yeah, sadly, one of them has to be Shepherd. And especially with, I came up with other characters as well as, I came up with one character who was named Seawolf. It sounds shit, of course, but the idea is that he's a blend between a catfish and a wolf. So he's pretty much a wolf body. He has a massive scaly-like tail, which is from a catfish, and then it has like large whiskers, like a catfish. And again, with Hellhound and the others, basically they're just Hellhound. He's just a Hellhound, and then the others, I can't remember anymore. But I still kept some, and I decided to say to myself, if you, I said to myself, I'm going to have to keep some of these guys. So, I did the impossible, and I kept Oblivion and the others, and I made some other characters, one of them being, oh, I forgot about this one, there you go, it's an ultra rare, not really, I kept, like, Oblivion, and, Swarm. I've actually made some characters as well as Swarm, for example, which I'm still under work. I made Smiling Hyena, based obviously with that's not mine, obviously. That's someone else's. Eve, and then some others, and then I made other. Fuck it. Awkward, obviously. You can get a bit awkward, of course. But of course, again, like I said, make your designs unique. I kind of got ideas from, like, what other people have made. Smiling Hyena, I got the idea behind him from pretty much another fursuiter. I can't say the name, obviously, because in all honesty, if I'd explain about the fursuiter, then pretty much you guys are going to go raging at me saying, "You fucking copied! You cheated, you fakey kid! Not really, I came up with the design myself. And plus, compare those two, I think Smiling Hyena looks a lot more different compared to that one. Anyways, moving on. Now, obviously, get inspiration. That's another key thing. Inspire yourself. The Smile inspired me, Alton Towers inspired me, Thor Park inspired me to make so much new characters, and even, strangely enough, even even Hyde Park got me inspired. And obviously, if you don't know where Hyde Park is, that's pretty much in Germany. Yeah, not the Hyde Park in London. Hyde Park Resort. That one's in Germany. I somehow got inspired from them. And they're Germans. I told myself to not make silly jokes. Yet I did. But anyways, yes. Like I said, it'll what people would have other people have different ideas, of course. The only idea I had when I was making my fursona is when I've been to Alton Towers for the first time and found out that the Smiler looks a lot more bigger than it originally intended. I said to myself, when I was with a friend of mine, I said to myself, holy crap, that just looks huge. And even you've seen it on like videos as well on YouTube and my channel as well as on others. It's probably one of the biggest coasters there. Like, scrambled into like a small package. Yet it has so much flair and beautiful, and like looks very chaotic, that sort of shit. That's pretty much what it is, if you think about it. It can be a bit, obviously, chaotic. Everyone knows that by now. But anyways, obviously with Oblivion, he's a pup. So he's very simple. He's very simple and cute. But when he gets older, he can become a little bit more like terrifying and a little bit more obscure than the others. That type of stuff. Especially with Swarm and Eve as well, as I came up with the stories for those two. I need to actually kind of talk about the stories between those two eventually, to explain what's with the story, what's with these two having very strange names, and especially with the species that I made up for those two. Sadly, Eve, I did copy off Slifer the Sky Dragon, but that's just a rough sketch, in all honesty. I had to come up with some sort of idea, and this is why I'm making this video, to explain how to make good ideas without really copying too much. Obviously, not according, but it's just like, in my personal opinion, you've got your ideas, that's that. That's all I'm gonna say, I'm afraid. But either way, all the point is, you design your character on how much you want it to be. You can make it too complex, you can make it simple, you can make it more simple than pretty much every other furry out there, or it can be very complex like Mature Strawberry and Beauty of the Vase. That's it. That's it, yeah. That's basically it. If you guys like this video, obviously, comment down below if you agree with me with my, obviously with the tips of designing your own character. Tell me if that information's quite useful. If it isn't, then I do apologize. I'm kind of stupid. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video, and I'll see you all next time.